All right, market update here on the 12th. So we have QQQ here first. So we had this corrective move right here. This started off looking very corrective, and it still can be corrective. It could be an expanded flat. So we have 401.30 potentially as a, let me go to the log chart, 401.41 as a potential landing spot if it's an expanded flat. This looked pretty corrective off the bat, so it kind of reminds me of a normal B wave where it's just going straight up and people are thinking that it's extremely bullish, and then all of a sudden we get a move like this. So that's a possibility, or it's a fifth wave. If it's a fifth wave, then I think we're probably in the final stages of it. The 1.61 fib is right here. We got a dip. This is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And yeah, I'll be honest, I've already started scaling into SQQQ. I'm obviously down in the position because it went straight up, but I'm just kind of scaling into that at this point. Normally I don't like to do that, but this is way overextended. You can see here, we were way down here below -2 standard deviations the start of this rally, and now we're up here at the top of 2 standard deviations. So yeah, it can come up here to like 405, 410, but eventually it's going to come back to the mean, and the mean is actually right here in daily demand and a gap fill sitting here at 378 to 373. So I think we're getting close to the top, and I have no problem scaling in, and if I'm wrong, I'll probably know just based off any kind of corrective move that pulls back a little bit. So that's my thoughts on QQQ. It looks like this is potentially an expanded flat. If it does happen, I would just expect a move down here to 373 to 378 probably. That is actually right around the 1.61 fib. If that were to happen, be an expanded flat. So we would get 5 waves down after Powell pretty much. So Tesla is not cooperating though. It's not going up. It's been pretty lame for the last week or so. I'm still expecting this to play out, but we'll see. If it just sticks right here and then QQQ is going up more, then I'm probably going to start buying some puts as protection, because it doesn't look like an impulse move, but it could end up being something like 1, 2, and then this ends up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, if the market sells off. So that's something I'm going to stay aware of, and if it doesn't move tomorrow and move up here to at least like 242 when the market goes up, then I'm going to go ahead and assume that we're probably in some kind of nested third wave down. If that's going to happen, we're looking for 220, and then eventually probably down to 210. So needs to bounce tomorrow so it can be an ABC move. That would look like, again, A, B, C, like that. Whole thing would be A, B, C, like that. Otherwise, we're going down here and filling the gap at 222. So, been pretty lame. It was like a $3 range the whole day today. It was pretty annoying to watch overall. And then QQQ was going straight up, no pullbacks. So yeah, you can tell that I'm ready for a correction overall, because I pretty much scaled out of a lot of my positions, and we'll see what happens. Same thing on SPX. I'm looking for a pullback to potentially 442. This box right here, another gap fill and daily demand, but that's the overall structure I'm looking for over the next like 6 months basically. So pull back, move higher, pull back, you see it right there. So that is SPX, QQQ, and Tesla. And let's go over the dollar. The dollar kind of tells a story as far as what to expect as well. We have a ABC move playing out right here. And so far, we have made A, B. This C wave, I don't think it's finished yet. It might be, but we might be seeing something like that into the 14th. But this is demand zone right here, so maybe not past that. We pretty much hit it right here. So we'll see. This took a day, and then this is taking a couple of days. I'm looking for the 14th basically. So this took 28th to the 6th. It's 8 days. 14th would be 8 days as well, and then I would expect like 8 days up. So December 22nd potentially, right into Christmas maybe, for the 1.61 fib to hit, which I've been talking about the last couple of weeks, is a minimum of 104.90. And we are just making a second wave though. If you watched the videos before, I'm looking for this to go all the way down to 93, and we're looking for this to happen. So this dip is probably not going to be long, and you're going to want to buy the dip because there's no reason to be bearish after this pullback right here on the dollar. So that's pretty much all I got to say on the overall market. Let's see what happens tomorrow with Powell. But there were some requests here. I just saw GDX. I haven't charted this one, so you got to give me a second. I look at the chart, kind of see what I do anyway, how I look at them. So I would say this is clearly an ABC move right here. So, and this actually might be, let's see, A. So you're going to have to bear with me for a second. I've never looked at these stocks. It takes me a while to So you can see clearly this is a corrective move. This is not an impulse move. We made a new low right here. ABC up. That's got to be the A wave, most likely. Or it could be A of overall B wave as well. Now that would make sense though. Let's see how long this took. This took from January of 2016 to August. So that's 7 months. Pulled back. That's about 6 months. Let's see. No, about 7 months as well. So this is most likely an A wave right here. And then this took over 2 years. So that's definitely a B wave. So I would say on GDX, just looking at this chart, I would be looking for that seems kind of high, but yeah, but honestly, if the dollar goes down, what I've been talking about, goes down to 93, you're going to see gold and silver really taking off. So this is very possible right here. And you got 5 waves right here. So this is wave 1. So really, if you're long this stock, you just want to have a stop below 21.17. So you're looking at this like all the way up here to 78 bucks. Potentially higher too. If you look at the 1.61 fib, .61 fibs actually at 100 bucks. So it kind of just depends on how it plays out. Let's double check the whole length of this. January of 2016 to July of 2020, so that's 3.5 years. This took about 2 years, so I would actually label this WXY. I usually like the B wave to be as long as the A wave time length. So then you're actually probably going to get something like this. You're probably going to get you can still go to $102, but it's probably going to play out as an ABC move. So you might be getting something like this now. So ABC, pullback, ABC up here to like $78. So this doesn't necessarily mean that this has to be a stop loss if it's an ABC move. But overall, I would say, let's see, May of 2023. This looks like ABC. We'll see what happens here. This is kind of the general spot here, or general like projection. But anyway, $78 would be my target. I'm not going to get into the smaller time frames. That will take too long. $78, kind of like that is what I'm looking for. And yeah, WXY is kind of the structure that makes the most sense. So GDXJ is probably the same thing. Maybe not. ABC move, again, same structure. So I would be looking for maybe like $102, $105, something like that. And it's probably going to end up being WXY as well. So it doesn't have to be. I don't know why on the last one I did this. It can be 5 waves. So it can be this. It can be it's just the overall structure is ABC. So ABC, but this is 5 waves for the A wave. So I would say this is probably what's going to happen. You're going to get 5 waves up, pull back, 5 waves up. $78 on GDX and GDXJ, probably 102. Looks good overall to me. As long as the dollar is sinking and everything goes on track, I think that that's probably going to happen. SLV, these are all going to be probably similar. And I own silver actually, but I own the physical silver. I don't own the stock silver. So on this one, you got 3 years, 3.5 years. No, 2.5 years. No, 3.5 years. Okay. Then you have 9 years down. So we have either a second wave or a B wave. That's completely fine. You're looking for on silver, you're looking for something probably up here to $60 for SLV actually. And I love the consolidation here. You got a nice move higher here back in 2020. The dollar was going down. That was when the last year of Trump was like a weaker dollar, and then we got Biden coming in. We get a stronger dollar into 2022. Now we're getting a weaker dollar again, so we should be at least seeing. It could take a while to play out though. 2020, 2008, 12 years. I would expect at least 6 years for this to play out. So it doesn't have to be. It could be long. Could take a little bit less time, but you can see here we started this move in April 2020, and it's barely made any progress. So potentially another 3 years, get up here to the 60 mark. But right now, I would say it looks pretty good. If the dollar sinks, it might finish it here in the next 6 months though. I don't see why not. The 1.61 fib is at 50 bucks. That's the top of this parallel line. You might be looking at 50 bucks as well. And this might end up just being ABC. So you might just be looking at this like that. Or if it's 5 waves, you're looking at it like that. So that's pretty much, I think this has got to finish though. All these got to finish in the next 6 months. Go back to the dollar. Because my whole thing on the dollar is I'm looking for it to hit 93. So we finished this whole move. You go back here on the monthly chart. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's the 4th wave right there. Because we got an impulse move down. It finished above here. And then we get 1, 2. We get a 5 wave up here to finish the move. And now we're getting an ABC move down. So I think after you hit this zone right here, which is I think it's a weekly demand zone. Maybe it's on the 3-month. It might be a 3-month demand zone. Yeah, 3-month demand. Where did I get that from? Figure out where I got this 3-month demand zone from. Maybe. Either way, my target's 93. This actually looks pretty good for a demand zone right here. I don't know why I have it down here. I don't see any demand zones right there. I'm going to move this. So you can see here, this candle does not come back into this candle. So the 6-month demand zone is right here at 96.87 all the way down here to 91.69. That would complete an overall pullback over the next 6 months. So we have this move took, let's see, that only took 4 or 5 months, and then this took about 9 months. That's 13 months. So yeah, I'm looking for like April, May, June, stuff like that. Basically, right when they said they're going to do rate cuts. So they're talking rate cuts in June of 2024. This move will probably be finished. We'll see something down in this area. And then that's where you want to get pretty defensive if you're in stocks. And if you're in gold and silver, you're probably going to want to sell in this area right here. So 96 down to 91. So I know that was a lot, but SLV, GDX, GDXJ, I think they all look pretty good. They are all corrective moves though, so you got to be careful because they can take a lot longer than if it's an impulse move. You have a pretty set area where you can have stop losses, but on corrective moves, it could take years, and so I don't think options are probably the best way to play it. OIH, I don't know what this is. Oil Services ETF, probably not going to be able to do that much on this one. This is probably I don't know about this one. I'm going to go ahead and go to USO. And I know USO is another one. I think it has a lot of reverse splits. On this one, it looks like it completed 5 waves right here. So I would expect oil to go lower here. So if this is a general 5-wave move, and especially on this move right here, you're looking for something probably down here to at least 53 bucks. So I would be looking for a minimum of 53 bucks on this move right here. It looks like this was a corrective move up. This took about 9 months. This took 6 months. So you might see another move higher potentially. Maybe you get something like this. But this is a pretty bearish move in my opinion. You're eventually going to see something down here. So even if this goes up, then you're going to see something down here eventually. So I wouldn't be long right here. This is not a good setup overall, in my opinion, just based on the monthly chart. I would expect something over here to at least 53 bucks eventually before I'd want to go long. And then even then, you might be getting, you could get another corrective move, another move down like this. So basically, I'm just saying I don't like the chart that much. You had 5 waves that completed in June of 2022. I would probably go long this maybe next year when the dollar is bottomed out. So you might have another 5-6 months before you want to go long on this. That's my opinion looking at the chart. But it's a quick glance, so take it with a grain of salt. So that's gold, silver, oil stocks. Let's go over a few more requests. We have CHWY. Big move higher like all growth stocks did back in 21. Yeah, hopefully this helps out kind of how I figure everything out. So this is looks to me like a 5-wave move right here. So you have an A wave right here. Yeah. So A is right here, and then you get this nice move back up here. That looks like 5 waves though, right here. And let's see. Yeah, I think that this is kind of the same structure as a lot of the other stocks, where you're looking at this I'm looking at this as like a B wave. It did go a little bit farther overall though. And let me look at this move right here. Let's look at gap fills. So you have a gap fill here at 27, pretty obvious. And another gap fill here at 44. That's not going to matter right now, though. Put it out there anyway. And so I think you're probably looking at this as this is probably Yeah, I think you're going to get at least a move up here to how long did this take? You're probably going to get another move up here to this gap fill at 27, I would think, if it's not already completed. You did get an ABC move down here that held the lows. I would expect something up here if it's not already finished. I don't like the structure of this at all, though, on smaller time frames. So I'm not exactly bullish on this stock. But after the next correction, it would be interesting to see where it ends up, because yeah, I'm just not bullish on this, really, the structure of it. It does look like it might have one more leg down here soon, and then I'd probably want to buy. But again, man, I think that you're looking at yeah, I don't know. I'm just not bullish on this stock, really, to be honest. I don't know anything about the company. But again, this kind of shows you that sometimes, like when I'm charting these, I don't know either. It takes me a while to figure out what exactly is going on. So right on the spot, it's tough. But right here, I don't like the structure of this move right here. You have a gap fill here at 26, but I do think it has potential to fall all the way down to 10 bucks. I'll say that. So that doesn't really fit the narrative, though, of IWM going higher. So you can still get something like this, too. You can get A, B, C right here. I'm just saying that eventually I think it probably comes down here to 10 bucks. So I'm going to move on to the next one. We got FVRR. And I think that this is probably going to be a ABC structure. Let's see. It looks to me like you have 5 waves right here. And then you're getting some kind of ABC move right here. So I'm talking about like maybe an expanded flat. Let me look at this even farther in depth. So you can see right here. And then you come back up here. That's definitely like a B wave. So how far does it go past? So yeah, again, if this is an ABC structure, I'm looking for something like this. And I'd be looking for, I would say minimum 39 bucks. Potentially all the way up here to 80. But now you can look at gap fills. Are there any gap fills? Where is supply zones at? I don't see any gap fills. So it kind of remains to be seen how far this goes up. And then we can look at the very bottom. How is the structure of this move? This structure looks pretty good overall, in my opinion. You have a potential move where you have 1, 2, potentially in a third wave. It could be ABC as well, but I would say overall, this is definitely ABC, and then you're getting a nice move up here. Unless this ends up being ABC back up here and we go down lower, I would say it looks pretty good to 39 bucks minimum. Let's go over ABCL. These kind of stocks are not my favorite to chart because they're just straight down. Obviously, you got some kind of A wave right here. So you can go ahead and mark that. And then you got 5 waves. This might even actually be, this probably is ABC right here. And then it comes back down past the 1.61 fib. 1, 2. I personally do not like this at all. It's just too corrected for me. Could go higher. Just not the best stock to chart overall. You have a gap up here at 725. But when it's just going straight down and then you get a corrective move off the lows, it's just not a good setup, really. So, yeah, there's not really that much to say other than that on this stock. I would have to see more impulse moves off the low without even to be able to tell you like what to do here, and you're getting a corrective move off the low. So, not really the kind of stock you want to be long in, but I don't know anything about the company. I'm just talking about the chart. So, maybe the company has some kind of catalyst in the future. So, that's pretty much it. I'm more certain on the GDX, GDXJ, SLV, those stocks because I'm pretty certain on the dollar. So I actually like those a lot better than the last 3 I went over. The last 3 I went over do not look extremely bullish to me. So that's pretty much it. That was a long video, but I went over some of the stocks that were requested. Hopefully it helped out a little bit. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's any other stocks you want me to look at. I think that is all I'm going to go over today. So, have a good one. Talk to you in the next video.